took me some time to formulate in my mind everything that I need and want to say to you. And since it was a full moon yesterday, I did a lot of releasing, and I feel like a lot of truths. Not I feel like, I know a lot of inner truth was revealed to me. And ultimately, the thing of it is, I've been running away because of fear. And I can't be afraid to admit that anymore, and especially not to you. Because the truth is, I really do love you, Brian. And I know it's like, to hear someone say it, and then to hear someone, like, say it, but then understanding the understanding of what that statement means and what that word really means and how much weight there is to it, it just takes things on a completely different level. And that's where I feel that's where the fear factor lies, because now it's like, okay, we've made it this far, and now taking things to the next level, what does that entail, and what does that really look like? And when I say that, I mean as it pertains to both parties involved. So I can't speak for you, and neither do I want to, and we can't speak for one another either, and we're not supposed to. We're supposed to speak freely and fluidly in an exchange and in a flow with each other. Because in addition to loving you, there's been times where I've caught myself, and I'm saying intentionally I caught myself because I was pulling myself out of it, to where I really was feeling like I was starting to fall in love with you. And that's the part that is really confusing for me, and it's something that I'm trying to gain some more insight and clarity and wrap my mind around it, because I'm unsure if that is the best direction of where our relationship should be headed, if that makes any sense. Yeah, and if I don't say all of this to you and just be completely vulnerable and transparent and honest about how I really feel about you, then we're not going to be able to really come to a, I don't want to say conclusion per se, but maybe that's what it is. Like, we just have to come to a meeting of the minds in terms of what are we doing with each other, and how do we see and view each other in our lives together. Because you're saying things like my wife, and mentioning marriage, and introducing me to other people in your circle, in terms of like your acquaintances and your potential business partnerships and endeavors, and including me in important emails, and just including me in your inner world. It's very flattering, and it's like the ocean breeze to my ears, if you will, yet at the same time, I don't really know if it's like something that just sounds pretty to you, like it sounds nice to say, and it provides that element of clout, I guess, if you will, because, you know, there's been studies about how married men are more successful, they're more driven, and they receive a lot more, I don't know what the term is, but it's like they're taken more seriously, and it's looked overall as a general positive business move. And it's well known that marriage is a business, we both know this, yet that's not what I want. I don't want this to be just business in terms of emotional connection with you. If it's going to be business, then I'm okay with that, but I want that to be verbalized and vocalized, and for us to have an agreement with that, because I don't want one person to be thinking one thing while the other is thinking another. Because when I think about the future, it's impossible for me not to picture you in it. And I guess it's just becoming a bit or it's not becoming, I guess it's always been rather cumbersome to position you in what component of the future I visualize you in, but honestly, it's everything. I don't just look at you as like, okay, he'll be here in my life, and I'm going to compartmentalize him, and he'll just be X, Y, Z, and I can check off these boxes, and these are the Brian Fleming boxes, and this is where I'll keep him. I don't look at you like that. It's like you're fluid, like you're water, like you're everywhere, like you're around me, you're inside of me, you're above me, you're below me, you're behind me, you're next to me, I breathe you in. Like, it's not just placing you in one component, it's just you're here, you're with me. And I think that's the part that scares me the most, because I don't want to become attached to something if we're not, I guess honestly, it's just I don't want to feel like I'm changing you. So because I feel that way about you, I want it to still be mutually beneficial, to where we could have you be my water and be around me. But I also know that even with that, just like with the ocean knows its limits. When it reaches the shore, it can only go so far. And so that is ultimately what I would want to establish with you. I want to be able to have a definitive line between the ocean and the shore. So moving forward, I just want us to have a foundation that we both are comfortable with establishing, and that we both feel that we are laying down the marble floor, if you will, that we both intend to stand on, and that both provides the balance for both of us, I should say, that we both desire, and that we both want, and that we both deserve. So that's where I feel there's the component of being open and honest and being truthful with one another, with how we feel about things, and us being able to have an open line of communication, to where we can both just be, like, I feel like I'm saying it ad nauseum, but it's just both of us being honest and having the liberation to be able to do that and have that with one another. And what goes along with that is with the integrity and the level of our integrity with each other, and the cultivation of the honesty that we can share. Because if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, Brian, like, with your behavior sometimes, like I say, you've angered me, but you haven't really angered me or upset me. It's really more so like you've hurt me. And I know it wasn't intentional, because I definitely know that you don't have any malicious intent. However, at the same time, it just all ties into, I don't want to change you, because I don't want that. I don't want a robot. I'm not trying to control you, and I don't want that for myself either. So I don't want someone trying to change me or make me think differently or make me behave differently or try to, limit me. And I don't want to limit you. And that's ultimately what I want in terms of a desired outcome. I want us to both remain in harmony with each other and still be comfortable enough in our truths, and to be able to have that and sharing that with each other, and to really be our true, authentic selves with one another. And I'm not going to go too far into this, because I feel like emotionally we're already connected, and we already feel the emotions and the full range of everything that we have going on, because we're so intertwined. But I also know that there's value in expression and outward expression, and so moving forward, I want to be able to have both of us have open lines of communication, and to be able to speak freely without feeling that we have to be on the defense with each other. So, in short, I just want to be able to move forward and maintain focus on what's really important because you're in my life for a reason, and I know that. I may not know exactly what the reason is, but I don't care anymore. Like, I'm not going to be, well, let me retract that. I do care. I'm not going to be having anxiety over it because I don't know exactly why you're here. And I have strong feelings for you and about you, but it's still not 100% clear. And maybe, I mean, it's not supposed to be, you know, I guess maybe we're not supposed to know everything. We're not supposed to be caught up in the expectation and the how and the end result manifestation. We're just supposed to be caught in the intention and the desire and the action and the vibrational alignment. And that's what I want to focus on because ultimately that's really where our power is. Our power is in the now. And so what we're creating together and what we're cultivating and what we're nurturing together, it's bigger than the two of us. And so between our union and our fusion, there's greatness that we both are destined to create. And that I know for a fact beyond the shadow of a doubt. I know that for a fact. And I feel it in the very essence of my being. And that's ultimately what I want to preserve and protect and to grow with you together. I love you. And I really mean that when I say it. I really do. I really do love you, Brian. I think the hardest part is just not becoming distracted by everything else that comes along with that. And that's what the turmoil for me has been. And I just want us to remain focused and pursue what we were predestined to pursue together.